Well, I'm delighted with the result. I've worked for this for 25 years. I was the Prime Minister who led...
...is over. Every Democrat will accept the result. You and all.
The 1970s in Great Britain, a time where loud patterns and loud voices played their way into homes up and down the country. Then, clashes on domestic and international affairs led to public votes, which in turn started the ball rolling on issues still very much at the forefront of today's political agenda.
Until last year's referendum on whether we should change our voting system, Britain hadn't seen a national referendum since 1975. Then it was all about whether we should remain in the EEC. But today there are fresh murmurs, deep from within the electorate and within major political circles. And once again, the subject is Europe.
There is increasing resentment towards our European neighbours of late. With the crippled Eurozone economy, many people are calling for the removal of Britain from the EU entirely. A campaign named the People's Pledge is seeking a public referendum on Britain's continued involvement within the collective framework. With over 90,000 signatures gathered so far, many supporters see the petition as the all-important first step towards getting that public vote.
Well, this will be a long-term campaign. I mean, it already has been a slightly long-term campaign. I mean, people have been trying to get a referendum on our relationship with the EU for years now. So, no, this is going to be a slow burner, and it's going to take a long time to persuade the powers that be that this is the right thing to do. But I also think it's inevitable. Might take a long time, but I still think it's inevitable.
The Yorkshire town of Halifax has been shortlisted by the People's Pledge as one of the 10 places across the country to conduct a postal referendum on the concept of a public vote later in the autumn. However, there were mixed opinions when I spoke to the people of Halifax to find out their feelings towards Europe and the idea of a public vote.
I don't think a vote's necessary. I think we have a mandate to continue to be in Europe, so I'm happy with things as they are.
I'm not happy with politicians making decisions at all. I think they make far too many decisions for us, and we should have our own say.
We've already had a referendum, 75, so I don't see the need for another one.
The referendum of 1975 doesn't in fact paint the whole picture. For in 1973 and twice in 1979 there were regionalised referendums in Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland to establish localised assemblies. In 2011, Wales had a referendum on whether or not the Welsh Assembly should have increased powers. And in 2014, the Scottish National Party are looking to have a referendum on Scottish independence. However, how much a referendum is being used as a political tool and how much is it being called for as part of the will of the people?
A significant part of it is really political expediency. For example, the AV referendum, for example, the reason that people got a chance to vote on the electoral system was because it came as a result of the political deal between the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats. They often don't result as a consequence of kind of bottom-up movements, but they come along when political elites can't decide amongst themselves or become convinced that they need some kind of endorsement from the public for a change that they want to make.
Is Britain stronger inside Europe? Yes.
I don't particularly think we should have a referendum for every issue or many other issues. I think it should be reserved for very important constitutional issues, and there is no bigger constitutional issue than our relationship with the European Union. So I think on this it's absolutely crucial, but I wouldn't want to see an extension of referenda for other situations.
No one knows how successful the People's Pledge may turn out to be, but as seen from the 1970s and in the late 1990s, we know that the pattern shows multiple referendums can occur in a short space of time. With 2 referendums in 2011 and a Scottish vote planned for 2014, it may just be that little bit less easy to ignore the sound coming from the people.